Hello students, today I am going to discuss one of the very important experiment with you, and that is volumetric analysis. Why volumetric analysis is important experiment? Because it carries 10 marks, and another thing, it's the compulsory experiment. You know, other experiments are also there, but they are optional experiments. You may get it or you may not get it, but this one is compulsory experiment and it carries 10 marks. So volumetric experiment is one of the compulsory experiment. Now let us see how to perform volumetric analysis. Okay. So for volumetric experiments, you know what are the requirements? I'll tell you. First of all, we need a conical flask. Okay. Then we need a pipette. We need this pipette. This one is a burette. Okay. We need a burette. And then we need certain chemicals like KMnO4 and oxalic acid, because it is a titration of KMnO4 and oxalic acid. So we need these chemicals. Then beside that we need another chemical, that is dilute sulfuric acid. It's a table reagent, it will be there on your table, but we need it, H2SO4. Okay students. Then you might need a
Go.
and we will need this test tube also. Okay students, so let us start with the experiment. All the required stuffs I have told you what are the things required. Now very first we will be washing this apparatus with the water, normal water we can use. So for washing we can use tap water, and we need to wash this conical flask. So wash it with a little water and then throw that water away. Okay, then you need to wash this conical flask also, but you need not wash it from outside. In fact, we have to wash it from inside. And for washing it from inside, how to do it? You can pipette out some water and then you can throw it out. See, this is how you can pipette out some solution and then you will throw this. Okay. So as you are throwing the solution, all the inner walls of the pipette, it gets washed. So this is how washing can be done for this pipette, right? Then we need to wash this burette also. Okay, so just close this tap, take some water in this. Okay, then open this nozzle. So as you are opening this nozzle, you can see water is flowing through this. Okay, and as water is flowing, okay, it gets washed. You can stop it also. So after washing, just discard this water. Discard this water also. There is some water in this nozzle. Okay. Then attach this burette to this clamp. Okay. So washing is done. We have washed pipette, we have washed burette, and then we have washed this conical flask also. Then we have to fill this burette with the solution from this flask B, that is KMnO4 solution. But before filling this burette, we need to rinse it with KMnO4 solution. Okay, so let us do that. For rinsing, we have to take little solution. Okay, I forgot to close this. You have to close the nozzle, right? Okay, then see. You can take little solution in this, that all the inner wall gets weighed by the KMnO4 solution, and then you can throw that solution. Then you can throw this part of the solution also, throw it away. Okay, so this is how rinsing can be done. We have rinsed this solution. Now we have to fill this burette with the solution from flask B, that is KMnO4 solution. So again you fill this burette with KMnO4. Okay, there is a 0 mark, student. You can see there is a 0 mark in this burette, and you have to fill it above that 0 mark. Okay, you have to fill it above the 0 mark, and you can see there is an air bubble. You can see clearly there is an air bubble. This burette is not completely filled, there is an air bubble. So we need to remove that air bubble. For removing air bubble, what you can do, you just open this nozzle so that solution will flow through that, but still you can see the air bubble is not going. Okay, so we need to remove it. Yeah, now the air bubble has gone. You can see air bubble has gone, and now this part is also filled. Solution if it has not come below 0, if it comes below 0, then again you have to fill this some solution. Okay, but since it hasn't gone below 0, so still we can adjust, because we have to take solution up to the 0 mark, so that will be 25 ml. Okay, so I will be taking solution up to the 0 mark. So I will open this nozzle, some solution will flow down, and we will adjust in such a way that this meniscus will coincide with the 0 mark. But since it's a colored solution, so we need to see the upper meniscus. So considering upper meniscus, it should coincide with that 0 mark. Okay, so it should be in front of your eyes. Adjust it slowly and carefully. Yeah, that's it. So considering upper meniscus, it's coinciding with the 0 mark. You can see clearly here. Okay, then you can attach this to this clamp. Okay, you can clamp this burette. One part is done. Then we have to take oxalic acid in this conical flask. We had washed this and we had thrown water, but still some water droplet remains in conical flask. That might affect your reading. So you need to discard those water droplets. Okay. Now we have to take oxalic acid in this. We have to take it with the help of pipette. But we need to rinse pipette with this solution. So for rinsing, what you will do? You will pipette out some solution. All the inner wall gets wet, and then you can discard that solution. You can throw that solution. Okay. So for rinsing, we have taken some solution, and then I am throwing it away. After rinsing, please do not use the solution. You have to throw it out. Okay. Now I will be taking solution above this mark. There is one mark, student. Okay. You can see here. There is one mark here. Right. And then we have to take solution above that mark, and then we will be adjusting it. Okay.
Go.
So this line is very thin, students. This is somewhere here. Okay. So up to this much, up to this line, it is 10 ml. Okay. So we have to pipette out solution above that mark. Okay. Then slowly release this finger. Slowly release. So the solution is, going down. Okay. It's going down, and we have to adjust up to that. Okay, we will be adjusting till that mark. See, now since it's a colorless solution, we will be discussing lower meniscus. For colored solution, we had taken upper meniscus, but here we will be observing lower meniscus. See now, solution is flowing down. Solution is flowing down. Yeah, yes. Now see, now that lower meniscus is touching the 0 mark. Okay, that line, and now I can transfer the solution into this. So this way we have to transfer the solution into conical flask. See, I have transferred this into conical flask, and then we need to add 1 test tube of sulfuric acid to this. Okay, so we have to add 1 test tube of sulfuric acid to this. So I am adding 1 test tube of sulfuric acid. We need to add to it. Yes, we have added sulfuric acid also. Then you can keep this bottle back in itself. Now you can see here, see, it was dripping since it wasn't tight. Okay, so it was leaking. So solution has come down below 0. So this will not do. We need to fill it again. It happens, students. So in practical, there are many the other things happens which will disturb you. So don't get distracted or don't get disturbed by such things. Simply you just wash it. Okay, you have to go ahead with these obstacles. Okay, we will fill it again. Many unfavorable things happens, but don't worry. Okay, so see, I have filled it again, and again I will adjust in such a way so that it will coincide with the 0 mark, considering upper meniscus, because it's a colored solution, right? Okay. So now we are ready with the solution in conical flask, that is oxalic acid and chemical. Now we will do the titration. Okay. But yeah.
Go.
So we are doing titration, but before doing titration, we need to heat this solution. Okay. So after adding 1 test tube of sulfuric acid, we have to heat it up to 60 to 70 degrees Celsius, students. But you know how you'll come to know that temperature has reached up to 60 to 70 degrees Celsius. We are not going to keep any thermometer in it. You know how you'll come to know? You can see some water droplet condenses near the mouth of the conical flask. Near this opening, if water droplet condenses, then we'll come to know that temperature has reached up to 60 to 70 degrees Celsius, and then we can stop heating. Okay. So we need a match box. Yes, I got it. And now we're going to light this burner. Yes, we have lighted this burner, and then we are going to heat it for some time. Approximately it takes 1 minute, 30 seconds to 1 minute. It depends on the speed of the burner. Okay, but
Go.
so it takes, I said 1 minute, approximately 1 minute it takes for heating. Now you can see some water droplets are condensed here near the mouth of the conical flask. Then you can stop this heating. Okay, stop this, put off the burner, and then you have to titrate it against this cheminophore solution. Okay, now which indicator are we going to add in this? So students, you must be knowing, for cheminophore solution we do not use any other indicator, because cheminophore is a self-indicator. Cheminophore is a self-indicator, so we are going to add it. So first we are going to find it out, the pilot reading. So for pilot reading, I will be adding full 1 ml. So I will add 0 to 1, 1 to 2, 2 to 3, like that we will be adding 1 ml solution, and we will see in which range, okay, where the color change lies. So what is the pilot reading that I am going to find out. So for that purpose, I have added full 1 ml, 0 to 1 ml I have added, 0 to 1 ml I have added, and then you have to check it carefully. See, the pink color has appeared, but is it persisting? No, that has disappeared. So again you have to add 1 ml. Okay, so for this you have to add very carefully 1 ml. So here again 1 to 2 ml I have added. Okay, again there is no color change. So 2 to 3 I am adding. 2 to 3. There is no color change, student. Then I am adding 3 to 4. No color change. 4 to 5 I am adding. No color change. Then 6 to 7 I am adding. See, 6 to 7 I am adding. There is no color change. Now 7 to 8 also I have added. Okay, I have added 7 to 8. Okay, now when I have added 7 to 8, you can see the color has changed. That means our pilot reading is between 6 to 7. When I added 6 to 7, when I added 6 to 7, there was no color change. But when we added from 7 to 8, there was a color change. So that means our pilot reading lies in between 7 to 8. So pilot reading is 7 to 8. Okay, students. Now this was finding of pilot reading. Now we'll go for main reading.
Go.
So after finding pilot reading, we have to go for main reading. For that purpose, you need to wash this conical flask. So I am washing conical flask with water, and after washing, you have to discard the water. Washing is done. We need to refill this burette with the cheminophore solution, right? So again, I am adding cheminophore solution. Okay. We have to add above 0 mark, and then you will be adjusting with the help of this nozzle or this stopper, you can say. Okay. So now I have adjusted it up to 0 mark. Clamp it. Again we need to pipette out oxalic acid. So I wash and discarded water, still some water droplet remains. We have to discard it again. Again pipette out the solution. Okay, and then we will be taking up to this mark. Slowly solution is going down, and it has come up to that mark. Okay, transfer the solution into this conical flask. One drop remains at the tip of the pipette, but do not blow it because that is adjusted. Excluding that drop, this is 10 ml solution. So never blow that drop. Okay. Then we will be adding one test tube, one full test tube of sulfuric acid to this. Oh, sorry. By mistake I added more, and I told you in chemistry, many a times unfavorable thing happens, but we have to go ahead. I have added one test tube of sulfuric acid to this. And then we have to heat it again. You know that we have to heat it up to 60 to 70 degrees Celsius. So I am heating it. See, we are heating it.
Go.
So temperature must have reached 60 to 70 degrees Celsius. We can see some water droplets have condensed at the mouth. So again, I will put off the burner and we will titrate this solution against Kml. Okay, but already we have found out the pilot reading. We know till 7 there wasn't any color change, so we can add directly solution up to 7 ml. Okay, but in the beginning you have to be careful. You have to add it very little and you have to shake it, otherwise it will form a complex. The brown color you will get because of formation of some complex. So you have to add little and you have to shake. Okay, so I am adding little and then I am shaking it. Do not add more solution at once, students. So little you can add, and you can add up to 7 ml. You need not worry, up to 7 ml, because we know there is no color change up to 7. So just relax and you can add easily up to 7. See, I have added up to 4, and now I am adding from 4 to 5 almost. Okay, then again I am adding, and now it's going up to 6. See, up to 6 it has gone. Up to 6. I told you that the brown color complex shouldn't be formed, so you have to keep on shaking it and you have to add it slowly. See, now it has turned colorless. Okay, there was a tinge, brown tinge was there, so you have to be careful. Again we are adding slowly, clockwise. Okay, and now we can add up to 7. Okay, students, see now we have added up to 7 ml. Okay, and there is no color change. You can see still it is colorless. Now we have to add very carefully one drop. So what you do, just forget about the this reading. Just add 1 ml and try to get very light pink color. So that is the end point of this titration. Okay, so very carefully add just 1 ml and try to get the color. So I'm very carefully adding 1 ml. See, 1 ml. See, there is no there is no color change. There is no color change. Okay. Now you can see with that drop we have got this very light pink color. You can see this light pink color, right, students? Okay, so we have got this light pink color. So that means this is the end point of the titration, and let me see the reading. So this is 6.5. Considering upper meniscus, this is 7.5. So our first reading is 7.5. Right, student? So this we have found first reading. Likewise, you have to do 2 more times. 1 more time you will get. Do it. Now that time suppose you are getting reading as 7.6. So our first reading was 7.5. Now second time I got 7.6. Do it 1 more time. That time you might get 7.5 again. So our three readings are what? 7.5, 7.6 and 7.5. So what is the constant reading? Constant reading is 7.5. Okay. So that 7.5 is a constant reading. So that will take as constant reading. You will write it and you will take examiner signature on that reading, that you have got this as a constant reading, and then you can go for calculation.